many of you probably were aware of how the licensed software model worked. The key thing that this graph shows is that you spent money to acquire the customer, and that was this negative cash flow. This is the investment that you made to acquire the customer. But everything was fine because immediately when you closed the deal with them, you got a very big check, and it more than covered the cost of that customer acquisition. The problem in the SaaS model is that the amount that we invest to acquire the customer is huge, and we don't get it back immediately. We get it back slowly over a long period of time. And the net result of that is that if you looked at your cash balance, you spend all this money to acquire the salesperson, paying the salespeople and paying for marketing, and very slowly you start to come back to the point where you recover that investment there. And that is a negative cash flow period. And so the thing that is interesting here is that was just one customer that we lost all that money with. The more customers you start adding at the same time, the worse the problem gets here. So this is a very simple model that shows a constantly expanding sales force. So you can see the cost of customer acquisition, the amount that you're investing, is increasing every single month because you're adding more salespeople and adding more customers. And the best way to look at this here is on a cumulative basis. If you looked at your bank balance here, you're losing money, you're losing money, you're losing money, and then suddenly the model flips and all of those customers that you've got actually does start to pay back. But the problem is your investors will be panicking at a certain moment in time here because they're watching these losses getting bigger, and they're asking, what the hell are you doing? You're increasing your spend on more salespeople, you're spending more money on marketing. This is crazy. So this is what we call the SaaS cash flow trough. And one of the board members at HubSpot is the CFO of NetSuite. And they've been a public company for a very long time. It's kind of interesting to talk to him. This is summarizing here. This thing that surprises many investors and boards of directors is that even with perfect execution, any acceleration of growth will be accompanied by a squeeze on profitability and cash flow. So this is interesting. This simply shows that if you add 10 customers a month, your losses will get much worse than if you're adding 2 customers per month. But the interesting thing about this is that the point in time where your business starts to come back to normal doesn't get pushed out a long way at all. It's just simply the depth of the trough that does get pushed out there. The other thing that Ron Gill pointed out is that at NetSuite, every time they started to get close to break even and the investors started getting excited, they actually decided, wait, this business is really working, let's hit the gas again. So they went into another dive. So it's been a consistent series of these dives for them. So it takes the right kind of people on your board to really help support you through this kind of a phase here.